Hello, I'm Steve Shaw, National Coordinator of Football Officials and Secretary Rules Editor for the NCAA. And today we're presenting our first media video for 2024, and we're going to be featuring game action from Week 0. And even though we had a limited set of games in Week 0, it was our first introduction into our new technology rules, namely our coach-to-player communications and our tablets on the sideline. All seem to work very well, but the big stress test will come this week in Week 1. But the conferences have worked hard. They've worked well together to ensure the technology holds firm. And it'll be interesting to see the impact to the game of the technology. We may have seen a few more huddles this past weekend than before, but again, such a limited number of games. We'll continue to monitor not only the pace of our game, but the number of plays per game to see what impact the technology may be having. And finally, this video is not really set up to show correct call or incorrect call, but it is really to show the overall game, the rules of the game, and the officiating standards and how they apply. So with that, let's get on into our video. Our first play is a targeting play, and the good news from Week 0 is we only had one targeting foul enforced for the full weekend, and this play is it. Now we see the quarterback, he drops back, he keeps the ball, and then he's going to slide feet first, and he's hit hard by defender number 13. And as we go back and take a look at the replays, we know that as soon as the runner lowers his backside, he's considered down, the play is over, and the runner transitions to a defenseless player. Now we see that number 13, he comes in, he leads with the head, and that's our indicator of targeting, and there's clear forcible contact to the head or neck area of the defenseless player. So replay can confirm all aspects of targeting here, and number 13 is disqualified. Now, note it's the second quarter, so number 13 is disqualified for the remainder of the game. Had this been in the second half, he would have missed the remainder of the game and the first half of his team's next game. And the other note here is that the call on the field was a dead ball personal foul with targeting. Anytime you hear with targeting, that's the key words. And so if we have a personal foul with targeting, there's going to be a 15-yard penalty regardless of the replay review. But here, this targeting was properly confirmed. Play 2, we have a punt play, and it gives us the opportunity to discuss the rules pertaining to the kicking team catching or recovering the ball near the goal line. Now here we see that the ball lands near the 10-yard line, bounces toward the end zone, and number 1 of the kicking team possesses the ball at the 2, and then he carries the ball forward into the end zone. The crew spots the ball at the 2, and that is correct by NCAA rule. The NCAA rule states that if a player of the kicking team catches or recovers a scrimmage kick that has crossed the neutral zone, the ball becomes dead and it belongs to the receiving team at that point, the dead ball spot. So even though this is a touchback by NFL rules, NCAA rules, this ball is properly spotted at the 2. And remember, by NCAA rules, is the position of the ball, not the player, in relation to the goal line. So even if the kicking team player has a foot in the end zone, if he downs the ball while the ball is clearly in the field of play, the ball is spotted at the dead ball spot, and it's not a touchback. So this is a major difference in the NCAA and NFL rules. Play 3, we get a kickoff, and we see receiver number 26. He muffs the ball, he recovers at the 2, and then we're going to see the officials are going to blow the play dead. And as we go back and take a look at the replay, we see number 26, he does give the fair catch signal. He muffs the ball right at the goal line. The ball goes forward into the field of play, and then he recovers the ball at the 2-yard line. Now, if the receiver completes the fair catch, his team will put the ball in play at the 25. But if he does not complete the catch, like we saw here, then the ball by rule is dead where the receivers possess it. And because of the fair catch signal, it negates the receiver's opportunity to return the kick. The fair catch option was put in place for player safety, but to take advantage of having the ball at the 25, the receiver must complete the catch. Play 4, we get a run off left tackle for about a 6-yard gain, but we're going to get a flag down from our umpire for an illegal block below the waist. Now, as a rule reminder, linemen can block below the waist in the tackle box until the ball leaves the tackle box, and the tackle box is defined as the rectangular area enclosed by the neutral zone and the two lines parallel to the sidelines, 5 yards from the snapper, and all the way back to the offense's end line. And if a lineman's block is initiated 1 yard beyond the tackle box, is considered within the tackle box. But the block by number 51 here of the offense is approximately 4 yards downfield and is illegal, and unfortunately the defender was injured on the play. And we know also backs can block below the waist in the tackle box if the block is directed from the front. But no other blocks below the waist are allowed anywhere on the field outside the tackle box. And this is a player safety change that has delivered in terms of decreasing lower leg injuries by players being blocked. A good change for our game. Play 5 is a big third down play. The quarterback is quickly under duress and the ball's going to come out. The ruling on the field is fumble, and we see the defense, they scoop the ball up and take it in for a touchdown. Now the question, is this a forward pass or a fumble? The ball appears to go slightly forward, but remember by rule, it is a forward pass if there is any intentional forward movement of the passer's hand with the ball firmly in their control. That's what starts the forward pass. And as we look closely at the replays here, we can see that the hand starts to move forward, but the quarterback is losing control of the ball when it starts to move forward. Now it's very tight, and replay is ultimately going to let this ruling of a fumble stand. But clearly there's nothing here that is definitive that shows the hand is moving forward with firm control of the ball. So good job by replay to review this and let the call on the field stand. Our final play, and we've received a number of questions about the T signal by return team players on kickoffs. What does the signal mean and what's the significance? And as we see here, the return man, he does give the T signal, and this signal really has no meaning by rule. Many return men give this signal to alert his team that I'm not returning the ball, but it's not a fair catch signal, it's not an invalid fair catch signal, as long as the player keeps their hands at or below shoulder level and there's no waving motion associated with the T. If this signal is done properly, it does not eliminate the receiving team's opportunity to return the ball if they wish, but mostly the signal is given as a heads up to teammates, I'm not returning the ball, so no need to block at this point. Well, that's it for our plays this week. We hope these plays have been helpful, but now it's on to week 1. Almost all of our teams will be in action this week. Everyone is poised and ready. It should be a great weekend of college football. Best of luck to all.